You big dummy. We're
Good
live, I
morning.
think. Let's see. Let me open up the YouTube side.
Good morning, Bum Crack. Carol, Cindy,
Carl Bumcrack.
Beth. Damn, they're up early this morning. They probably hadn't been to bed yet. They're out partying all night.
Yeah. Yeah.
So what's going on with you this morning?
Oh, just noticing.
Good morning,
Yeah,
Glenn.
up
Good
until
morning, Craig. Excuse me.
up until was it day before yesterday? Today's Thursday. So Saturday I had good steady sales. Sunday I had good steady sales. Monday I had good steady sales. And then Tuesday, I think I sold two things. And yesterday I sold one. So people are definitely through with their Christmas shopping. Or they're broke and can't buy anything right now. So, hi Deb. Hi John. Hi Craig. Hi Sandy. Hi Carol. Hi Bumcrack. Okay. Is that everybody? Everybody that's commented?
Yeah.
I don't know if we ever get any lurkers. I guess we do some.
Hold on a second. I gotta go take my biscuits out the oven. Be right
Biscuits
back.
out the oven. Ugh. My biscuits are burning. What movie's that from? Dun, 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 dun. Hurry up. Answer in the chat. My biscuits are burning. What movie? What movie? Come on. You know it. Or you don't know it. Lag won't know it because it's an older movie. Come on. Come on. What's your guess? Nope. That's a good guess, though. No, I don't think it's more than 30 years old.
You gotta leave
Okay,
them in there for 3 more
the
minutes.
question before the panel is, in what movie was the phrase, my biscuits are burning?
Toy Story 2.
No, but you're close. It's an animated, partial animation. Star Wars? No. They didn't talk about cooking much in Star Wars, except when Jar Jar ate that animal thing off that rack.
Well, I thought the little the old cowboy in Toy Story 2 was one time his butt got set on fire, and I thought that's when he was saying my biscuits are burning. But I guess I'm wrong. So what is it,
It's
Todd? Are
close
you
to
going to wait
that.
till the end of the show?
It was in Who Framed Roger Rabbit.
Well, I don't like that movie, so
You don't like that movie?
I don't like that movie.
What is Jessica Rabbit too much for you to handle?
No, I just never liked it. I've seen
There you go, Deb.
about half of it, and that's about it.
Yeah, they did like caricatures of old cartoons in that show, and
Yeah.
there was an explosion and fire, and Yosemite Sam came out of the fire with his butt smoking, and he said, "My biscuits are burning. My biscuits are burning."
Good morning,
So
Cyber.
you having to get your biscuits out of the oven reminded me of that. It's
Well, I had to put
weird
them back in
how.
there. And Bumcrack, we're talking about biscuits, your scones, like not cookies.
Yeah, not cookies.
not cookies.
So, yeah. It was during the show Tuesday. I said, I think somebody stole my stuff I got from the rummage sale, the overalls and stuff out of my car. Well, Alzheimer's was definitely kicking in because I had actually taken my wife's car because she was using my car. Her mom has trouble getting in and out of the SUV, so I was driving the SUV to the rummage sale while Gwen was taking her mom to the hairdresser or doctor appointment or something. So anyway, I'm glad they're not stolen, but it made me feel foolish. Cancel the police report. Yeah, I'm not gonna file a police report over $50 worth of overalls. Hi, Cyber. Yeah. Biscuits and scones are two different things here. Well, biscuits are kind of like shortbread cookies, aren't they? In merry old England. It's kind of like potato chips are not potato chips in England, they're crisps. And chips are French fries. Lots of weird things they do over there in England. So yeah, here we are on a Thursday morning. I get to go. I wonder if the rummage sale is even open today. I don't know why they would not be open. I'm used to them being closed a whole lot. I mean, they were shut down for like a year and 4 months during COVID. COVID shut down the rummage sale for over a year. I'm not ready to go back to shutdowns. That was horrible. Hated it. I did not like it. No, I didn't. Shutting down the whole dang world over a disease that wasn't any worse than the flu. Hey, Tara.
Hi, Todd. Oh, I love Tom's Christmas decorations. I see you put a lot of effort in those squares.
Yeah, look at that.
Oh, that's fancy.
What a great backdrop.
Yeah. I hope he takes a tax write-off for that for his, online
Oh yeah,
presence.
that's needing to be a tax write-off right there.
Yeah. Well, y'all ready for Christmas?
Pretty much.
Are you getting the cold weather there yet?
It's just fixing to hit. I mean,
Oh,
we're supposed to get really bad wind for the next 6 hours.
yeah. I think ours doesn't hit till tonight, like after 7 or something.
Yeah, and
It's
then
drizzling right now, but then it's gonna
And warm.
and it's gonna the temperature's gonna drop real fast. They say like flash freeze and might get some snow and then get
see.
real windy.
Well, it's like sweatshirt. I mean,
Yeah.
it's not cold out yet.
Yeah, it's like 42 degrees right now, but that's the high for the day. It's supposed to just go down all day long.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be like 13 here by the weekend.
Oh,
The
boy.
lows.
Well, they're
Yeah,
freaking out here because it's supposed to be like 0, but they say with the wind chill it might be like 10 or 15 below.
They changed it.
Oh.
tomorrow morning's supposed to be 16, and
It's
that's
gonna drop
cold
to
here.
actual temperature -4.
Negative
Oh, that's cold for here.
I know my magnolia tree don't freaking freeze.
Oh, Jim's worried about his
I'm gonna
magnolias.
throw a blanket on it.
You call Jim Magnolia?
He planted a couple magnolia trees here, and he's all freaked out they're gonna freeze in this bad temperature.
Let
So
me address
Gwen
something.
was worried about her cats getting cold outside, so we built a crate to go over their sleeping mat she's got out there for them.
No.
She's got a heating lamp in there, so.
Oh boy.
We built a garage and we packed full of eBay stuff.
Huh?
We built a garage and we packed it full of eBay stuff. So the cats are gonna sleep there. Oh wait, the garage, the eBay stuff was already there. We made zero effort.
Yeah. Gotta protect those poor defenseless little furry animals.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like they don't have fur and stay
Just
warm.
open the
with
door
that.
and let him in the house, Todd.
Oh, hell no.
You put on a box, you fill it up with sand, and then they poop and pee in it. It's great.
No.
Deb, that's not a bowl of biscuits. That has syrup in it.
Syrup and biscuits?
Yes, ma'am.
Like English biscuits or our biscuits?
Our biscuits, not crackers.
How does the syrup taste with the white gravy?
No, he's just got biscuits with just syrup. There is no white gravy on it.
How do you
Yeah.
eat biscuits with no white gravy?
Oh.
Sausage
Well, they're
and-
magnolia trees, Carol. They're not really northern trees.
You know, when we lived in
Oh,
Charleston,
you know
my
that?
dad had a kumquat tree. Y'all know what those are? The
Oh,
little-
I love kumquats.
And every time they talk about having, getting close to freezing down there, he was outside covering that sucker up with a light, to try to help keep it warm.
Yeah. Oh man, it makes me want to get a kumquat
Oh
tree.
no. Okay, I want to hear the end of the story. Did it live?
Yeah, when we lived, it's still there.
Okay, good.
I was talking to a neighbor
What
who
the hell
was a
good is a
neighbor when we
blanket on
lived there.
magnolia going to do? If it's going to get 4 below, it's going to get 4 below under a blanket. It's not like the magnolia is
Yeah,
generating
but it's only going to be
heat.
4 below for a little while.
Oh. You better open the door and let the magnolia in
I'm
the
going to put
house.
2 ladders.
Yes,
over
that's a real tree, lag.
I'm going to put
Jeez.
8-foot ladders over both of them. You're going to lose some of your bedspreads.
What?
Never
Oh,
heard
that
of a
was tasty.
kumquat.
This is a natural disaster. We got to make sacrifice.
I actually like kumquats, and they're hard to find, to buy them for sale.
Yeah, it's going to be -4 by 2 night. It's 47 right now. And it's going to be 4 below by tonight.
Yeah. And where we used to live up in Eagle River, they're going to have a blizzard up there.
And if it was 4 below, we'd be like, oh, okay. Well, if you go outside, wear gloves.
Yeah.
I mean, it didn't even phase you. We didn't even think about it. But you're set up for it. Here, you're not. It's been so long since we had hard cold like that. We're just not set up for it.
Really? Do tell. That's what we had to tell all those Yankees when they moved south. Dude.
Do North Carolina and South Carolina, do you guys all share the same snowplow truck? Or do you guys each have your own snowplow truck?
We each have our own snowplow truck. But see, what they do is everybody that's got a four-wheel drive and it has had an attachment put on the front of it so they can put their blade on it and push snow.
Yeah, we laugh here. We just saw one yesterday. It's a pickup truck with a snowplow on the front. And they don't know how to drive with a snowplow with the blade straight. You're supposed to put it at an angle when you're driving.
For 2 things, wind resistance, and the other thing is it doesn't make your car over width for the road. You're not supposed to drive with the blade straight across. I'm like, idiot.
No, South
I think I used
Carolina,
a different word for it. It started with H, which you don't throw around down here too much.
South Carolina is resurfacing their interstates. They're putting this new type of asphalt pavement on it, and it causes the snow and ice to melt quickly, and it just disappears. I mean, I guess it's porous, so it runs off, but you can tell when you hit the state line going into South Carolina, it just totally, unless it's still snowing hard, it disappears.
It's cute here because they put like tire chains on the snowplows and that. You think we're in the Rocky Mountains or something?
Yeah, there won't even be frost in the ground because it ain't cold long enough to make frost in the ground. The ground gets a little hard, but it's not like the ground turns to concrete. Here it gets a little stiff, and it's only lasts for a couple days.
And then one time last year, I think it was, we were coming back from an auction an hour away, and we got snow, so the roads are kind of slippery. I'm like, oh my God, look at this, Jim. We stayed on the main highway instead of taking the back roads. The dang snowplow truck was up in the ditch. He lost control of like the big county truck and sent it in the ditch. Which I didn't even know was physically possible, really.
Oh my God, though, it is going to stay cold here. I mean, it's going to be
Through Christmas.
Yeah, our lows are Friday. It's going to be 2 degrees. Saturday it's only going to be 5 degrees, and then Sunday it's going to be 7 degrees.
Oh boy.
I didn't move 800 miles south for this.
You should have stopped in Alabama, in the Huntsville area.
I should have had it. Yeah, I should have kept on going.
It's global warming.
Yeah.
No. When it gets too cold, then it's climate crisis.
Don't worry. The government will figure out some way you can pay higher taxes to fix this. Don't worry. They're working on it right now at a big round table. How can we get the taxpayer to fix this by sending us more money?
I wonder how many politicians are going to apply for disaster relief over the bit of cold.
I would if I could.
No,
North
you
Carolina's in a state of emergency.
Time for 10.
All right.
North Carolina is in a state of emergency
Really? I think they're doing something here too.
because
They're
of the
all
weather.
freaking out.
The temps are supposed to get so cold.
They got these warning signs out for like hypothermia and stuff. I'm like, oh my God, you guys.
State of emergency. Your taxes are going up now because of it.
Because the weather's bad.
I know.
Scott loves our governor.
But they are going to get high winds here, and if the power goes out, I mean, yeah, that'd be pretty bad for people, if you don't have a generator and for heating your house and stuff.
I got a couple boxes of firewood and a kerosene heater. I'm ready. What? No comeback on the.
I didn't even catch it because Jim was saying something.
I said I have a couple of boxes of firewood and my kerosene heater. I'm ready.
Oh, okay. Did you buy the firewood at Lowe's?
From the convenience store where they're $5.
Yeah, those little
10
bundles
pieces.
you get of firewood. Oh,
Yeah.
No,
I will say I went to Walmart yesterday, and I mean, there's like no bread or milk. I mean, I did manage to get a gallon of milk, but there was like hardly any bread or milk. And everybody was totally crazy in Walmart. They're all getting ready for the big storm.
Oh, God. Walmart. Yeah.
Beth, you take care.
I hope her dad's doing okay.
Yeah. So this is the coldest Christmas we will have had in God only knows how long.
We had snow here not last Christmas, but the Christmas before, because we had to drive down to Jim's family's, and the roads were like treacherous.
Yeah, we only had 2-wheel drive too.
Where were you going?
To Jim's mom's house was just 10 minutes down the road, but you got these big hills you got to climb to get there.
Yeah, they live 6 miles away, but it's cliffy roads. We're in the sticks. They don't blow up the mountain. They just put a road over the mountain. You know what I mean? So you got to go up the mountain. It's slippery, and then you go back down the mountain faster than you want to.
Yeah, you can tell they lived in the South long.
They're
whining about the weather now.
I want to say something about that bread. They always want to stop the price gouging. Oh, you can't have price gouging because these people, they won't be able to get the stuff they need. When you ignore supply and demand and don't look at supply side economics, even in a disaster, you should raise the price of bread to $4 because it keeps people from filling their damn shopping carts with loaves of bread.
Yeah.
I mean, the people they take all the milk was gone. They got because damn well all these people bought like 4 or 5 damn gallons of milk for the weekend. So that's what
we actually needed milk. Wasn't hoarding.
They should increase the price when there's a disaster because that way people only buy what they need. If it's that expensive, they won't buy more than they need and hoard it. It's better.
We don't buy. We always keep a gallon of milk in the house, but we don't buy milk because when it's the thoughts of the power going out, we buy pop. because at least the pop you can set outside and keep it cool. I don't like frozen milk or milk that's been frozen. So if the power goes out, you got to set it outside to keep it cold. And so
Well, now you sound like a Yankee. Everybody knows that your porch is one of your refrigeration devices.
I remember going to school as a kid, but mom forgot to get milk or whatever. Okay, well, we're out of milk. I'm like, well, I'm eating cereal. It's cornflakes and Mountain Dew.
Ew.
oh God.
It works.
My uncle and my dad used to make wine.
That'd be a big sugar high.
And the wine they made, first of all, you had to cut it with Sprite so you could drink it. Otherwise, you had to eat it with a spoon. But that sucker must have been 500 proof, because we were up in the mountains skiing one winter, and they were setting, and it was snowing, and it was cold. I mean, below freezing. It stayed below freezing the whole time, and so. My mom was sitting, and everybody was setting stuff out on the deck of the house we had rented. And because, there was like 12 of us in the refrigerator, and the house couldn't keep up. During the night, it got down to like 12 degrees. And the next morning, we went outside, and everything was frozen solid except that gallon of wine that my dad and my uncle made. So that says that that's a pretty good sign that the alcohol content was way up there. Good times, good memories.
Mm-hmm.
Well, if during the winter, if we're having a bunch of people over and we have a bunch of pop and stuff like that, we stick it outside on the back deck. It'll get cool. So don't use as much ice.
There you go. Tom, the frugal shopper.
Todd, you probably can too. When my kids were in their 20s before they ever got fresh cookies from Walmart, because they would eat stuff so fast, it didn't matter whether it was 2 days old or it was fresh.
Oh my God, Brandon! I can't hardly keep cereal and milk in the house, because whenever he's hungry, he just goes and gets cereal and milk. I mean, and I think a box of cereal is maybe 4 servings for him.
Jethro?
Yeah.
Well, it's usually not sitting around here very long. Anissa. Well, tonight. Why you people still live up there? Why y'all haven't moved to Alabama or Texas is beyond me. Southern Texas.
I just drive to Alabama and source there. I don't want to go live there.
That's right.
I just go right down to Huntsville and I go buy a bunch of stuff and then I come home.
How long would it take you to get to Alabama from where you live at?
Like Huntsville area, about 4 hours.
Oh, that's not bad.
Yep. Oh.
See, that's the thing about winter time. You can, and the fact that it gets cold here, but it doesn't get below 0. You can buy, a case of pop and beer and stuff and leave it in the back of your car and it'll get chilled, but it doesn't get cold enough to explode.
Oh yeah, I remember that from Wisconsin. That does suck. Like if you leave a can of soda, a sealed can of soda, and then you walk in your car the next morning and it's all ice crystals sprayed all over your ceiling, yeah, that kind of sucks.
Sorry, I got to get my 2 packages out to the mail today.
Oh boy.
Well, go ahead and do that.
Christmas has certainly slowed down. Sheesh.
Well, I think we're in that week now where people know they're not going to get it by Christmas. I will say that it did change from the week before. I mean, once that date comes or it starts getting where they're going to make it by Christmas.
What's going on?
I said, he said that stuff slowed down this week. I said, well, it's because the dates are like where you get it. But we did have this crazy, and you're talking about Roger Rabbit.
11 o'clock last night.
11 o'clock at night. Somebody buys this stupid plastic Roger Rabbit cup from like McDonald's or something from when the movie came out. Okay, it's like a $10 cup. Oh, if you could send it so it gets here by Christmas Day, I'll pay extra for shipping. Okay, overnight won't make it. Won't make it to like the 27th, and it's like $60.
No. It's $80 to $90.
Oh God, to ship it.
Yeah, because I actually put the box dimensions, what the box would be. Yeah, it's $80 to $90 overnight.
Which we would lose money choosing that because obviously you get taxed your fees on the gross money coming in, so you'd have to pay the fees on this $80 cup ship.
And I knew this because if you watch Stranger Things, that show on Netflix, the second season, I think it's like the third or fourth episode, they're sitting on the hood of a car, the girl and the guy who later becomes her romantic interest. He's a photographer, nerdy kid. They're sitting on the hood of his car eating lunch at the high school, and he's drinking she's drinking a pink tab can. That can was sent by us, but they had to have it overnight. So I sent it overnight to California, and back then it cost $60, and I didn't charge properly. The whole deal wound up costing me like $6 or $8. I lost on the deal, but it was worth it to have the can on the show. So anyway, that's why I know what overnight costs for little packages.
Tomorrow it's supposed to be down to 11. Saturday 17, Sunday 19, and then it starts getting up to the 20s.
So what is it tonight, Tom?
Tonight it is the low is 11.
Oh man, you're lucky.
And the high tomorrow is 37.
Your magnolias are going to live.
I'm going to tell you what, Valerie, she's probably just raising the hell over it. She moved away from that snow, and it's colder here than it is in Kansas.
I don't know.
I'm going to put ladders up with blankets. I hope that'll work. But I'm looking. It's going to be like 5 degrees and 7 degrees the next 2 nights. So I don't know if it stays, and the high's like 15. If it stays that cold, I don't know if the tree can take it.
Yeah.
Hey, Scott.
We're 45 degrees right now, and by noon we're supposed to be 33. So the wind's fixing to start howling.
Oh boy.
So we're dropping 12 degrees by noon. Well, fun times.
I should look at the hourly forecast.
Cum squat tree's gonna make it.
We don't have a cum squat tree.
No, he's talking to Tom because Tom's dad had one planted. What do they do in Florida when it's gonna freeze? Don't they put the irrigation on, spray the trees with water to encase them in ice so that they don't freeze?
Right.
Hard.
I don't know, but that tree reminds me of a girl I knew in college.
Oh. Jim loves those magnolia trees more than he loves his family. Hi, Hank.
Mm-hmm.
He looks at them every day. Like every day he goes down there. Well, not so much now, but in the summer, and he tells you how much it's grown, and he's nuts for it.
Yeah, Hank, it might as well be a good morning.
We're not going to get cold till like 11 at night.
Yeah.
It's going to be in the 40s through like 8
I thought
o'clock.
it was like after 7.
Yeah. It's going to start
We're
raining.
supposed to be.
No snow. Oh, yes, snow. Oh. 2 inches of snow.
Yeah.
Damn it, we're going to have snow at Christmas.
I love a white Christmas. Be just like home. Just crank up a snowmobile.
13 degrees in the morning. Yeesh.
Hi, Hank.
That's a hard freeze.
What
Well,
happened?
it's going to be -4 here. -4 at 8 a.m. tomorrow.
Magnolia trees are Jim's new strippers. He loves them.
I've never.
Sorry, that was my bad.
No, somebody goes, I came for stripper stories, not magnolia tree stories.
Yeah.
A stripper's like a pet iguana.
I'm telling you, Jim, if you would do, if Jim would do the Uncle Jim show, he would have a bazillion followers. Because every tween in the country or the world would be watching Uncle Jim just to find out some stupid shit.
And he wouldn't even have to be on camera. He could just do like animation, like like with like crude animation, like stick figures or something. Drawing out all your adventures and stuff.
Show the 7-foot tall
like
bald
political,
guy.
political juice style. You know what he does that with those animated.
Show my stick figure flying in the air out of the bar.
Yeah, Hank, we might as well make it a good day. We don't have any options.
It's just
it can either be good or bad. So I guess it's all attitude, right?
Yeah.
If you're gonna have a good day, it's just because you decide to have a good day.
Now I know why all the Scott. I want an amen on this. Okay. I know why all the crazy politicians are up north, because they go crazy with all this damn dreary, cold, rainy weather they have up there.
All right, I'm coming. Okay, I gotta go. I gotta go do a Facebook meetup. So.
All right.
Have a nice day. I don't see you before.
Is Jim not allowed to stay by himself?
Yeah, he's coming with me. He's the one who's saying, wrap it up. We got to go.
Okay.
All right. Bye.
Bye. Yeah. Poor Jim.
Back to you and me.
He is so funny.
Just try our best to have a good day.
Yeah, that's all you can do. I mean, I just don't even want to get out. I'll go pick up my kid this afternoon, and that's it. Sunday we're going down to my mom's house for Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
But that'll be the last year, because she said next year she wasn't fixing Christmas dinner. Somebody else could do it. So I said, okay, we're all going on a cruise next year. If we're not going to eat Grams' cooking, we might as well eat food off of a cruise ship.
Yeah, you're fixing a cruise, aren't you?
In February. Can't happen fast enough.
Drive each other bonkers.
Unless Scott's president shuts everybody down again.
You sound like me, Anissa. Yeah.
Are you talking about staying at home with each other, or are you talking about going on a cruise, Anissa? Wow.
Canceled flights? What, because of the weather or because they're wimps?
Harbors, we're going to drive from Charlotte to Tampa, and then we're going from Tampa on the cruise to Panama and the Caymans and some other place. I don't remember what it was. Costa Rica, excuse me. It's 8 days. We were talking about going to Disney World, but it's such a damn mess down there, at least what you see on the Facebook and the YouTubes. And the section where the Haunted Mansion's in is going to be shut down for renovation. So I just don't think we'll stop there. We'll go to Universal instead. Because I told Roberta I wanted, since I'm 65 now and I'm getting old and my record's starting to run out, I wanted to go some places I hadn't been. Cool. Where y'all leaving out of, Harbors? Yeah, those cutesy couples And so they just need to get over it. There's Scotty.
I had to come to a smaller screen watching y'all on the 55-inch. Damn, y'all ugly on TV.
You can tell I hadn't got my makeup on this morning.
I guess see every fall I had to go. Man, that's hurting.
Come on, these are cute hands. So, okay, digital currency. I'm changing the subject. The European Union is now limiting the amount of money people can spend using cash or Bitcoin. So the whole European Union is going to switch to a cryptocurrency very soon.
It's because they're making their own, and it'll be just like the money is now. They'll be able to print as much as they want and be able to control the value of it by just printing more.
Yeah, and they'll be able to track every nickel.
Every dollar you use, they'll be able to track it.
So, no more buying cocaine on the street.
Wow.
The hookers in Amsterdam will have to have a daggum card machine now.
I know.
Wow.
Just
You were under the covers. What did you come out here
here
for?
next to.
What did you come out here for? You was under the covers, boy. You tell everybody what you did last night?
Yeah,
Tell everybody you threw up 4 times last night?
You talking to me, Carol? Who you talking
Yeah.
to?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
you know
Yeah,
how
European
she is.
Union. And you know the United States isn't far behind if the European Union does that. If they do. They already did.
Oh, yeah. And just wait. The social credit score from China is coming. I don't know how many times us conspiracy theories theorists have got to tell you folks that what they want to do to you. It's not even a secret. The World Economic Forum, they've written books telling you what they're going to do to you, and then they do it to you anyway.
Yep.
It's got off. They have bought every politician. I don't care what side of the aisle they're on. They bought them all.
Lag, you don't ever go to the bank, get cash out to give for presents or buy.
There's going to have to be some form. I mean, it's going to make yard sales and everything. I mean, peer-to-peer stuff a bitch when you have to do everything by phone or.
I know.
Well, you know, since you're talking
Cash
about
for
banks,
what? Well, like Scott said, the hookers and cocaine dealers don't take credit cards.
well, they're going to have to learn. A kid cut my grass, and I gave him a check, and he went to the bank to get it cashed. And his daddy called me and said they wouldn't cash your check without charging a $5 check cashing fee. So that really pissed me off because the kid doesn't bank with Wells Fargo. So I got in my car and I said, I'll be there in a minute. And I got out there and I told that manager, I said, this kid is a kid. And you're trying to charge him $5 to cash my check. And she said, yeah, that's the policy. I said, okay. And I wrote a check for $5,000 and said I want it all in 20s and 50s. That really flipped her out. And I gave the kid his money. And she said, what are you going to do with the rest of it? I said, that's none of your business. Because it was under the limit to, it was $4,000 because you have to declare it over $4,000. But that really just pissed me off.
4,000. I thought it was 10,000.
It's 10,000.
Is it 10,000 now? It used to be 4,000.
It's 10.
Because $4,000 don't buy nothing anymore. But it did. It really hacked me off that they can charge you to get, and God forbid, if people started using, I said, well, you know, it's going to get to the point, everybody's going to go back to using cash because you got so many fees on checking. And she said, "Oh, we don't want that." And I said, "Why is that?" She says, "Because we don't keep cash in the bank." And you imagine all the processing it'll take to if everybody went back to cash. I said, "That's not my problem. That's your problem."
See, the problem is if you look at the way money is done digitally, they fee you to death. So if you start off with $50 and you pay, so use it to pay so many bills, they're going to charge to use it, to recollect it. I mean, there's so many fees that eventually the bank takes that whole damn $50.
Yeah.
Over time, that money disappears because they fee it out, and it's just going to get worse. I mean, the ridiculous amount of fees that we pay on digital transactions that they have the nerve to charge 2% and 3% on a credit card transaction. That is a computer blip that they never. I mean, they don't technically they do perform a service, providing the service, but it costs them nothing, and it's just going to get worse when everything you have is feed.
Yeah, and have you ever seen the things where their bank restaurants are charging a service fee now? Like if you go in and you eat and it's $100, well, they charge like a 13% service charge, and then you have to tip. That's not in tip. That's not including the tip. And because I was reading an article where this guy went into a restaurant here in Charlotte, and there was a business meeting, and the bill ended up being $100 more than he had expected because of the service fee. So that's so they can pay their staff more. That's the cost of doing business. They need to bury it. That's what they need to do. Don't let me see it. Just raise your price by another $1.
Yep, and it's in a lot of ways, that's true.
Yeah, I tried to go to Lowe's yesterday to buy those things to put over your faucets on the outside.
Right.
He said, "We've been sold out for 3 days. We might get some tomorrow."
Yeah, I plugged in my heater tape. I got a pipe that goes from the ground into my house for the water.
Yeah, we're on a slab, so it's in the concrete. So
yeah, we are too, but it still comes up and goes into the house up on the wall instead of below the slab.
I think I've never seen either of us go under.
You'd be cuddling with her. Me and my 3 cats.
Hope that heating tape still works because it's about 6 years old.
Yeah, because it's going to just go down and then come right back up into the 30s here, like most of y'all. I think we're only under 30. I bought some of the fiberglass tape to put around it, and then I'm gonna take the dome because I have the domes, but the foam stuff's worn off, so the seal's on. And the guy goes, "Well, hell, you can just make your own. We've got plenty of the fiberglass insulation. Put it around it, and then put the plastic back on it." I'm like, "All right, that sounds like a winner." So I have to do that this morning because once about 4 o'clock hits, the wind starts like crazy.
Yeah, it's fixing to hit here, and like in 30 minutes, the wind is supposed to start screaming. It's already kind of breezy.
It's gonna be okay.
Y'all heard Tara talking about just comes down to Huntsville to source and leaves. Doesn't even say hello, nothing. That's a Yankee right there for you.
A Yankee.
Yeah.
Right.
You can move to the south, but you cannot get the Yankee out of them.
They had to go get they had a Facebook deal, I think it was.
I bet
Oh,
they
yeah.
still don't wave at people when they're driving down the road, coming the other way on a 2-lane road. You always got to go, hi, how you doing?
Jim's in that big
Hey.
ass truck. He's probably running people off the road.
That's right.
Y'all should have been driving an F-150 as he runs you off the road.
No, hell no. No. Don't say F-150. Don't even imply that Tara Carey has a 150. She will lose her freaking mind.
Carry the eggs to market in that 150
right.
like crazy.
But you know, talking about waving, a friend of mine was in the Air Force, and
Howdy.
he was in England for
How you doing?
about 3 years. And he said he would walk down the street. He and his wife would walk down the street, and they, you know, people would pass by, and they'd say, "Good morning" or "Good afternoon" or whatever like that, you know. And he said those people would look at him like they were a couple of perverts. His neighbor, who they got to be good friends with, said, "We don't do that over here. That's invading people's space."
You know what's a weird thing that I've noticed since I've been back in Alabama that I didn't ever notice in North Carolina was people in Alabama will sit in their garage and watch people drive by. I mean, you go down the street and there'll be a set of chairs up at the edge of the garage instead of cars in there, and they just sit in there like it's some kind of social gathering. I'm like, I've never seen that until I moved back to Alabama and noticed that so many people do that around here.
I'm not.
You know, the southern way of life is just so different from everybody else.
Yep. The wind started.
Why are you not in your blanket where it's warm? She says, "Why don't you turn the damn heat up?"
Yeah, you don't have to turn the heat up. You want the best heating thing around. If you don't have any of those dishes, those crazy heat dishes, they put out so much freaking heat.
What?
I thought I unplugged one of them.
He had to answer to the boss there, Scott. Where'd you get it from?
Costco.
I don't shop at Costco.
The one to build I got at the yard sale. If I had to wait for Johnny to turn the heat up, I bet it'll hit 5 tonight and she'll have some evil smile on her face. She'll be right in her damn element.
She'll be going, "Why is it so hot in here? Did you turn the heat up?"
It'll be the summer in Alabama, and I'll be sitting in the living room under a blanket. She'll like, you can always get under a blanket and put my clothes on. I'm like, what the hell?
That's like when I take a road trip. I tell people that they better bring a blanket with them because I'll have the daggum air conditioning going in that car.
See, Tim, that's the wrong way to look at that. If you found $60,000 in cash or had cash, you just start spending cash. You don't deposit that stuff. You don't want anybody to have a record of where it went. You start paying electric bills in cash, mortgages in cash. You start paying everything in cash.
First of all, if I found $60,000 in cans in somebody's house, you would never know about it.
Damn right.
I mean, and these people that go into they have these YouTube videos where they go in and they find, "Oh, we found $7,000 in cash in the storage unit." If I find $7,000 in cash, nobody's ever going to know about it.
Mm-hmm.
Every safe I open on YouTube, it would be empty.
Yeah.
No,
you would never see me open one.
Or well, you can make it look like you just busted up. They have precious moment figures. They'd have stuff. They'd have stupid shit on them.
Where's Stanford at?
California, right?
Oh, figures.
Harmful word. American is a harmful word. What? How is American a harmful word?
There is a reason that there is 40,000 people its names that are in the lottery for green cards. You know, there's a reason that 40,000 people are wanting to come to the United States.
It's just more leftist indoctrination. You know, they are by damn trying to make us a communist nation. You know, oh, I'm sorry, we haven't tried democratic socialism. You fucking idiots.
Todd's going to be pulling this one down.
No, you just can't talk about elections. You can talk about damn near anything else.
Yeah. You know, people just need to put their mind to working instead of worrying about everything else. And I don't know what these chaps are going to do when people that are working are all dying off and there's nobody to earn tax money.
I haven't watched any of it, Carol. Doesn't mean I don't have opinions.
Good morning.
Hey, anytime.
Good morning.
Good to see
I
you.
don't have to be deeply involved in politics to see the writing on the wall. I mean, all you got to do is pay attention.
Okay, well, pull anytime back up there for a minute.
Okay.
Anytime, is that your kid standing beside you? Otherwise, you're what, 7 feet tall if that's your spouse?
No, that's a kid for sure. Looks just like him. Looks like him. It looks like his mini me.
Okay, you can change it. I saw it and I'm like, damn, either he's tall or that's his kid. That's your son.
Hey, anytime. Have you visited this show before, anytime? I don't remember. Roman is anytime.
Lag said that was a picture of him. He's holding Lag.
Okay.
Guts Berserk, I've wondered that for quite a while here lately.
He's 20 feet tall.
Is why do we have to pay taxes when they're just going to print the money they want anyway? What difference does it make? It's just an accounting number.
Well, people just don't realize that we are the income stream for the federal government.
I mean, they did it again, folks. I mean, to keep the government running, they put a $1.7 trillion budget proposal up that they're going to vote on. They gave them 4,000 pages in less than 12 hours to look it over to vote on it. They don't have any. I mean, that's a dereliction of duty. They have no idea what they're doing. They have no idea what they're voting on.
Well, let's find Dewey, Cheatham, and Howe and sue them. You can't sue the federal government.
They're crooked as shit. It don't matter. They've set it up where you can't sue them. You can't do nothing. So I was not reading, but I was watching. There was a judge that a reporter goes in to ask him some questions, and there's no court or anything in session. And this is down in Texas, and he doesn't want to answer the reporter's question. And he says, "I'm in court right now." And the reporter goes, "Judge, you're not." He's got a pen microphone, a pen camera recording all this. "Judge, you're not in court. You're not doing anything." He said, "If you don't leave and shut up right this instant, I'll hold you in contempt of court." The reporter says, "In contempt of court for what? I haven't. You're not holding court. You don't have any." Had him arrested, put on probation, and then once he put him on probation for 180 days, he then went and added alcohol monitors and ankle monitor and all kinds of shit to this reporter for contempt of court for daring to ask him a question about the way he runs his court. Okay, so this same judge has been he'd been admonished by the judicial overwatch for doing the same shit. The appellate court found that he was wrong. They dropped all the charges and everything, and recommended that charges be filed against the judge. The local DA recuses himself because he's got to stand in front of the judge because it goes to two counties over. The DA there on the Friday before July 4th quietly drops the case, so he doesn't have to prosecute it either. You can't do anything to these crooked SOBs. They're absolute. I mean, they're absolute from all levels of government is crooked. You got to burn it down and start over. That's the only answer is to burn it down. I was watching a fellow on YouTube yesterday who bought a piece of land that had an old beat up trailer on it. And because he cleared the trailer and built a tiny house on the trailer frame, it's considered a remodel. So he needs no permits. He needs no approvals or anything on his little piece of land. And he has a YouTube channel that he talks about living off grid and all this stuff. He's had 7 people from other states complain to the state and try to get him arrested because he didn't pull permits. 3 of the people that they did, that the county that he lives in, filed charges of false reporting against him because they filed from out of state and didn't have any idea what they're talking about. He now has to tell, anytime he goes to do anything, he has to tell them, understand, I live this. I don't require permits. It's been approved by everybody in this county. If you complain to this county, they will arrest you for filing a false report. The one in California sent him this diatribe about how that he was killing the American dream because he was not paying in the taxes and all this. I mean, it's insane. And the guy,
anytime
he just tried to build a life where he didn't have any bills.
Right.
I subbed your YouTube channel too. Anytime. Yeah. There's so many good resellers out there I don't even know about. Been doing this, 7, 8 years?
You're stuck with all those bad resellers.
I know.
Anytime my youngest boys are from Ukraine and my oldest son is from Russia, we adopted them. And you know what? When we adopted Sergey, people would say, "Are you going to tell him that he's adopted?" And I'm like, I would tell him, I'd say, "How do you think we're going to keep something like that away from him, when his birth certificate says he was born in Novichokrovsk, Russia? You know, Dad, where were you in Novichokrovsk when I was born?" You know, I'm gonna say both. We stayed in people's homes when we were over there, both in Russia and Ukraine. And the people that we stayed with were the greatest people. They were just like us, just trying to get by and the government not screw them any more than they can.
There's a lot of birth parents that should be shot. It takes a lot more to being a parent than just being part of the DNA. We don't do a good enough job with, taking care of children and giving children a chance. I mean, we're terrible as a society for the most part. To have everything in the excess riches that the West, and I'm not the U.S., but Europe and everybody has. Look at Russia. They're for the most part a rich country. They've got more natural resources than any country in the world. And we throw away children, but unless somebody calls DSS on you, then they suddenly act like they care.
Well, it's been a long time ago, back when Okra had her show on all the time, and she had this lady on there, and the woman was from Chicago, and her 14-year-old son came sneaking in the house at 3:00 in the morning.
Oops.
And she beat his ass. I'm talking Southern butt cutting. He called DSS on her, and they took him away from her. And after about a week, they said, "Well, you can come get your son." She says, "No, you wanted him. You think you can raise him better than me. You keep him." Well, they ended up going to court. They filed charges of abandonment against her, and they went to court. And the judge, which was an older lady, she asked the DSS, "Why did you take this child from his mother?" And she said, "Because he was abusing him." And she said, "How was she abusing him?" Well, she beat him. And the judge said, "Why did she beat him?" Because he snuck out the house and snuck back in at 3 o'clock in the morning. And the judge said, "Well, if it was my son, he'd be lucky if he was still alive if he snuck back into my house at 3 o'clock in the morning." And so she dismissed she dismissed everything, and apparently had a long talk with the DSS agents and the police officer about, y'all got to have some common sense, especially when you talk about Detroit, where it's one of the most violent places or Chicago, in the country. Good morning, Mr. Sadie.
Yeah, anytime picker, I would
Hey,
not bet.
Sadie.
I would not bet on the Browns making the Super Bowl this year or next year. Aren't the Browns one of the 4 teams that have never made the Super Bowl?
What are they like? 6 and 8 right now. They're gonna have trouble getting in now. Even if they won the last 3 games. How many games are left in the NFL? 3, right? 3 or 4.
I really don't care. You got grown adults playing a child's game.
Yeah, the Cleveland Browns, the Detroit Lions, Jacksonville, and Houston are the 4 teams that have never even made it to a Super Bowl.
The Panthers made it twice and choked both times.
Hey, Harry. How's it hanging, dude?
I guess I just don't get out enough. A lot of these people, I don't have any idea who they are.
Shoot. All that Dallas had to do to make playoffs this year was to win Sunday, and they
All they have to do
blew a 21-10 lead.
all they have to do is take the ball out of Dak's hands. 2 times this year, they've been up by at least 17. He's thrown interceptions that have led the other team comebacks.
Yeah, no. Sheesh.
You're up by 17. Yeah, how about y'all give Dak a rest and let him just run the ball?
Yeah.
The only way Dallas is going to make it to the Super Bowl if somebody buys them 50 general admission tickets.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because it looks like, barring something crazy, they will have to go through Philadelphia, and that's not a nice place to have to play in January. You get used to that big Jerry's world, and Philadelphia in January is probably what we're about to have tonight.
Who was it? They called him the refrigerator or the freezer or something like that. Was that
Perry, Refrigerator Perry? He was in Chicago.
He's a big old dude.
Oh yeah.
That was a good team. There wasn't any beating that team that year. Sheesh.
It was at 85, 86, one of those years.
Something like that.
It used to be the Colts, the Colts.
That was
the
the
Cowboys, the Steelers.
The shuffle.
That used to be the teams.
The Super Bowl. Didn't they do the Super Bowl shuffle with Perry and all those guys in the 80s that year?
Yeah. Franco Harris passed. Yeah.
He died a couple days ago.
That dude was only 5 years older than me. What did he die of?
They haven't said.
Philadelphia, I guess, is the team to beat this year. They've won just about every game, haven't they? They lost 2?
They lost 1.
They lost 1.
They lost to Washington, which is kind of strange. And I don't know. It'll be interesting to see if Hurts has got a sprained shoulder, whether he plays or not Saturday, and because the problem is their backup is Garner Minshew, and he's a pretty decent backup quarterback, but he's missed a lot of practice this week because Coach Leach was his coach. I heard a craziest story about Garner Minshew. He liked playing for Mike Leach so much that he seriously considered taking a hammer and breaking his own hand to get a medical red shirt to play one more year. Is that crazy? They had to talk him out of it. He was going to do it.
Oh, I just looked at standings. It shows Cowboys have made the playoffs. Huh.
Yeah, they needed somebody. If somebody lost, they could either get in by winning or if one of the two teams lost.
Okay, so Bills are in, Chiefs are in, Eagles are in,
Dallas
Cowboys are in, Vikings are in, 49ers are in. Yeah, Cowboys got to play Philadelphia tomorrow. I wonder who'll win. I think I'll bet against the Cowboys.
I don't know. It depends on if Hurts is probably not going to play. But they've got a 2-game lead for home field.
They are in Philadelphia, right? Tomorrow?
I know it's in Dallas, I think.
Oh, it's in Dallas.
I think it's in Dallas. Let me check.
That doesn't seem to help Dallas as much as it does other teams.
What, being home field?
Yeah, it's at Dallas.
Yeah, Dallas crowd, they're a good crowd, but it's not like the terrible towels or anything like that at the games. It's just everybody's there to
well, they've made you've got a home field advantage for sure, but in stadiums like Jerry's World, they've made it an experience.
everybody goes for vacation.
And they've also made it so expensive that people who are there are it's not like the old. Man, you watch the '70s and the Raiders fans, and you've got those same folks that have been in the Raiders seats forever, and all decked out, looking crazy, and that truly had a home field because they made it so tough on visitors. But
the Panthers are wanting more money to expand their stadium, and people are going, "Why? You can't fill the one you got now."
Yeah, when Dallas played in the Cotton Bowl, y'all are too young to remember that. It was tough to beat the Cowboys in the Cotton Bowl.
What was the name of their stadium before Jerry's World? It wasn't the Cotton Bowl, but there was one between those two.
Yeah, it was just.
I guess I can Google it.
Just the Dallas Cowboys Stadium, wasn't it? I forget. I'm old.
The only thing that came out that's good that came out of Philadelphia was the Flyers and Rocky.
Oh, it was called Texas Stadium.
Yeah.
They played there for 38 years, so that was. Yes, I wouldn't have remembered the Cotton Bowl. That'd have been in the 60s.
Do they not do that anymore?
That's for you two old folks.
Do they not play that anymore? Or they renamed it because it was.
They don't play in Cotton Bowl Stadium. That's the Dallas used to use that stadium. Then they built Texas Stadium, and now they've got Jerry's World.
Is that Jerry's World, Texas State?
What? Texas State.
Is that what you? I thought he said Texas State.
Texas Stadium.
Oh, Stadium.
Cool.
I've got some Philadelphia Flyer jerseys in my closet. I got for Christmas one year.
Dang. That stuff Harry shows, he's a good picker. I mean, they got good stuff to buy there. He keeps coming up with all kinds of vintage stuff to sell that is just kick ass.
Wrong place.
Yeah, that's all I remember from growing up in the 70s is the Steelers and the Cowboys. Did anybody else play football in the 70s and 80s? Well, in the 70s, it was all Steelers and Cowboys. In the 80s, all I remember is the 49ers.
Yeah, 49ers with Cowboys would have probably won another couple of Super Bowls if it wasn't for the damn 49ers.
Yeah, still that damn Dwight Clark catch was a tough thing to handle for Dallas fans.
Yeah, Dwayne Thomas. Dwayne Thomas played for my college football team.
The Gauchos?
Huh?
The Gauchos?
The Buffaloes. West Texas State University Buffaloes. Yeah. He and Mercury Morris were running backs the same year at our college football. That was a kick-ass backfield.
For those of you who were celebrating the fact that my little university's dynasty was over, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
On little Nicky,
how'd their recruiting go?
The second highest class in history, number one this year.
Wow.
He got the number one running back, the number 3 running back, the number 1 safety, the number 1 defensive lineman, the number 1 edge rusher, and the number 1 offensive tackle. He had 24 hours ago, we had 3 5-stars. He ended up with 6.
Good God.
I mean, and a lot of places we truly needed. So one of the things that has hurt Alabama is our offensive line play in the last couple of years. And you notice that they've kind of gotten linemen have gotten a little smaller, and I guess with different coaches. He went and found a coach that liked lines like he does, big fellas. 2 of those linemen we picked up yesterday, these kids are in high school. One of them is 6'8", 330 in high school. They were not that big when I was in high school.
Listen, when I was in high school, boys didn't have full beards. You know,
Yeah.
Some of the girls did, but the boys did. It's got, it's all the hormones and shit they put in food these days. It's got to be.
And I'm telling you, it was 14 or 15. This guy plays in the pros now. I forget his name. When they recruited him and he showed up and he was first picture I remember seeing of him, he was a senior in high school. And I looked, I'm like, his beard, I'm like, that's a grown ass man.
Yeah.
Yeah, Raiders were good in the 70s. Plunkett, that's right.
California's got what, like 4 pro teams? Or did some leave?
3. They've
3?
got 2 in LA and the Raiders. No, the Raiders
Seattle.
left. They just got 2. They've got the 2 in LA. I think that's it.
Yeah, Seattle might as well be.
2 in LA
California,
and San
too.
Francisco, so they've got 3.
Mm.
Yeah, the Raiders left. They had 4. That's why Alabama football is so crazy down here, because we have 0.
Well, we've talked about it before. You can't get a ticket to the college football teams games and basketball games here in North Carolina because everybody's about college sports.
You can get them here. You're just gonna pay for it.
Well, that's just it. You can get
What
it in the
happened to
aftermarket.
What happened to the Rams this year? They fell off the edge of the earth. They won the Super Bowl last year, and now they're 4-10.
They were struggling, and then Stafford went down, and they really went to struggling.
Yeah, go Miami Dolphins. That's my team. Ask me what their stats is, and I'll tell you I have no damn idea.
Oh, they're 8-6 currently leading their division, or second in division. They've got a good shot to make the playoffs.
I just want them to win. I don't keep up with any of that crap. I used to when I was younger. Now I'm just not.
I watch Alabama players in the pros. I don't have a pro team, so their quarterback is Tua, so I keep up with them.
I'm more concerned about remembering why I went into the kitchen than I am the stats of an athletic team.
Anytime pick of the Rams are now the Browns because they got Baker Mayfield. That's funny.
That would be a good bet to win right there, Sadie. Spend $1 and win $4.50.
That's not good though, is it? Right? When you say 450 to 1, that means they got like a snowball's chance in hell of winning. Is that the way that works? I don't gamble like that.
He knows. He keeps up with sports betting. He even got me into it for a game once. Lost both times. Actually, the teams I picked won, but they didn't win by enough points.
Yeah, it's easy to pick who's going to win. It's when you throw the points in, the spread in, that makes it much more difficult.
Well, I didn't want to spend $5 to win 3, so I picked them to win by 10 and make $10 or something. But anyway, whatever.
Todd's got plenty of money. He don't care whether he loses or wins. He just goes back there and turns on that oil well in his backyard.
Oh my God!
Have you seen the video where he is got the lawnmower that's smoking the place out? He only did that because he had the oil well running that day. And he just didn't want the neighbors to know it.
That's the best video of the year.
It is.
I don't have that many views on it. Maybe 350.
You talking through the whole thing and just blowing smoke. That's the best.
At times you could see nothing.
You know what would have blown that video up if you had a drone in the air just showing the carnage.
That would have been great.
The police come up with their hazmat suits on.
Mr. Sadie, you know this is the Bible Belt. We are one of 5 states that don't have a lottery. You think we can bet on sports? We have to. If you want to do the lottery, you have to drive to Tennessee.
Well, see that North Carolina held off on it forever, and South Carolina they got Powerball as in Mega Million. You could on Wednesdays and Saturdays you couldn't get into a convenience store within 5 miles of the border because everybody from North Carolina was down there buying tickets.
That's the way it is here. They've got I live 10 miles from the line. There's on the state line. There's on 431. There's a church, and right beside the church is two separate lottery only stations. All they do is sell lottery tickets. And there's another one of those about a half mile up on the left. Within the first mile into Tennessee, you got three places that all they do is sell lottery tickets.
But it's, then they decided they better jump on the bandwagon because the only way the states make any money is it that they sell tickets, because the chances of somebody in your state winning is very low. He was killing mosquitoes.
Oh my Lord.
I'll tell you what.
No,
I
I've
guess
only
that's
got
the
like
reason-
140 views on this video.
People just don't know what they're missing.
I need
The
to,
comedy in that video is just
I need to shave. I need to save it to my Facebook channel and say, "This is what happens when you're old and your wife lets you mess with the lawnmower."
Yeah, and so this is Todd Mo. He put too much oil in it and mowed with it anyway.
That's right.
Yeah, like that's what he was doing. He was getting rid of bees and grass at the same time. He was afraid the yellow jackets were buried in the ground, so he didn't want them to be able to catch them.
Down in Charleston, when I was a kid, they had mosquitoes were really bad because of all the swamps and whatnot. And they'd come around with that fogger, whatever you want to call it, with the insecticide.
They still do that in Wilmington when I was living there.
And kids were out there running around in that shit, Oh man, I guess that's the reason there's just so many crazy people from my era.
Yeah, if you got 15 minutes for a good laugh, there it is.
Yeah, it is a hoot. And Todd just didn't think it was a big deal.
His neighbors checked on him. His wife checked on him. Everybody else thought he was crazy except for him.
He swings the camera around. You see people standing in their driveway looking at him. It's okay, Todd. We're not laughing at you. We're laughing with you.
With you, that's for sure.
What's wrong with that?
Because it ends up in the storm drains and clogs up the system and pollutes the water and everything.
I live in small town USA. Everything winds up in the streets.
That's what they say in Charlotte. It's like, make sure your lawn debris doesn't end up in the gutters, because it'll be washed down into the storm drain and clog up the storm drain. That causes unnecessary expenses, which is true. I will say that. But
during the summer, is there a day that goes by that you don't drive somewhere and there's somebody blowing all their grass and their driveways off into the streets?
Yeah,
it happens every freaking day during the summer.
Yeah, I bet I could hang a pig from my front tree and butcher it right there, and nobody. I live in such a small town. Everybody just come by and say, "Hey, that looks good.
That's a nice hog you got there."
Yeah, or you gonna have some left? You want to trade for some jalapenos or something?
Lag's trying to put you on assisted living.
I do need to go on. I thought somebody stole a bunch of stuff out of my car Tuesday, and turns out I was using Gwen's car that day, so it was still in her car. So
the struggle's real.
See, that kind of stuff like that is the reason I don't worry about what the stats are on sports teams nowadays.
My first mistake was I live in such a small town. Nobody's going to steal anything from anybody. Now they will steal from weird deals, like the rummage sale put up a video of somebody grabbing one of their donations off their back porch. But yeah.
Mr. Sadie, you're getting 3 inches of snow tonight, and it's supposed to be -3.
Yeah, at the auction, Harlan and I do. When people pick up he had to put in all these crazy cameras just to watch what people do. They'd pick up the wrong stuff. They'd steal stuff. They'd go to the other side when they were doing the preview, and they'd take stuff off tables. He's like, now he's got a camera system. If you tell him, hey, I'm looking for this, He can look right on his phone and tell you there's video of everything in that auction.
When we go to Roberta's parents' house, it's like, lock the doors, lock the doors. I'm like, we're up on the top of a mountaintop. Who the hell is going to come in here and try to get into your car?
Well,
Uh,
speaking of the rummage sale, it starts at 10 o'clock, and they're having a blowout sale.
Is this the old ladies again?
Yeah,
Todd's got to go get him some loving.
crabby old hags.
Todd goes in there in his hat, cowboy hat, and his boots, and his jeans, and his cowboy shirt on, and his western shirt, and goes in there and sweet talks them ladies. They swoon at his feet, give him all kinds of deals.
Shoot that one old dried up, skinny, 5 foot tall bat that works at the jewelry counter.
That's not very Christian like, Todd, going to a damn Lutheran church. Oh, God love you.
Dried up old bat.
Pure
Hey.
evil. Well, I mean, when I take something up to the counter and say I'm going to buy this, and she looks at it and goes, "It's not even her department. It's not even a jewelry item." I take up a pair of boots, and she says, "Oh, that's the wrong price. It's $25, not 10. Well, it says $10 on it." Well, that's wrong. And she grabs them out of my hands. Oh,
Tell her. Next time, tell her that's illegal. Scott, have you heard about all the stores that's been shut down in North Carolina because the pricing's not right?
Tell her that's bait and switch. You can't be doing that.
I know.
They've had 2 Walmarts, a couple of Walgreens, a Dollar Tree, not a Dollar Tree, Family Dollar. They've shut them down because they had when the state came in and scanned their tags, they were so far off of what was ringing up.
And this is on my side.
So what kind of leeway do they give them?
If you have anything more than 1,000, then they shut you down for the rest of the day. 1,000 tags.
1,000 tags.
Yeah.
That's hard for a Walgreens to get. Damn.
Yeah. Maybe it's based on the number.
Does it have to be? So if it's less than what it is, do they count that against you too?
No, if it scans less than the tag, that's okay. If it scans more,
okay,
then they're screwed. Because when I was working part-time at Staples, our manager, he bitched about that all the time. We might not have anybody on the floor the rest of the time, but when it came time on Saturday nights to switch the dadgum tags, we'd have a store full of people. And to get those tags out right, because they will bust your chops in a heartbeat. He fired one guy because he would he'd get a handful of tags, and he would go put them. He'd just go hide them somewhere instead of putting them out. Say, "I'm done." And so he started assigning areas. Tom, you do this area. Judy, you do this area. Sam, that's the guy. You do this area. And then he went back and started checking Sam, and there was never any tags that had been put out. Because even if the state does not, it's like I was about to say with Todd, even if the state is not scanning it, if you bring a tag up, or if you bring an item up, and it doesn't ring at the price that the tag is on the shelf, they have to give you the price that's on the shelf. If that's a 3-week-old tag, too damn bad.
Yeah, there are some states that you get money for doing that. I think they owe you like $3 or $5 each. Anissa,
Right.
What's the rule in Pennsylvania? Pennsylvania's got one of those rules, I think.
So, Todd, next time you go there, she gives you a hard time, say, "I'm sorry, that's what the sticker that y'all put on it says. That's what the price is."
Or maybe Pennsylvania is the one that's got the expired items. If you find an expired item, they owe you money.
They don't care. Nobody
Yeah,
cares about whether they're expired or not because that's just a suggested use date.
I got presents to wrap. I think I'll just take the boxes and stick a bow on them. Here you go.
We had Christmas with my son that's married now and his wife last night because they're both in the medical careers and they're both working on Christmas Day. So
All right, folks, I'm going to shut it down because I got to go battle the Lutherans.
Cindy says
So,
CVS gives you $3 for expired items.
Tom, you doing the show tomorrow since I screwed up? Tom was supposed to do the show this morning, not me. So, you want to do it tomorrow?
Yeah, I don't have anything going on tomorrow.
All right, we'll see you tomorrow on the Queen City Picker channel, everybody. Thanks
Y'all
for
have
being
a great
here.
day. Stay
Good to
warm.
have that. Who's that new kid again? Anytime Picker. Good to have you come on. All right. See y'all tomorrow. Bye.
All right. Bye.